My name is Prisha Mosley. I'm a 27-year-old detransitioner and mother. I am also a victim of medical fraud and abuse. When I was a teenager, my doctors lied to me, and as a result, I was medically harmed and defrauded. I was a struggling girl suffering with mental illnesses and with multiple comorbidities, including panic attacks, depression, and borderline personality disorder. I experienced a sexual assault as a minor, which made me fear being a woman. I learned about trans online on Tumblr. I felt that I identified with what I read online. I hated myself, I couldn't eat, I struggled to look at my body, and I self-harmed. This must mean that I was trans. When I brought this to my nutritionist, who was treating me for anorexia, I was immediately introduced to a pediatric endocrinologist who agreed that I had been born in the wrong body and needed medicalization. I was 16 years old and my body was perfectly healthy. No one cared that I had trauma associated with being female or that I hated my body and had delusions about how it looked. As soon as I said the word trans, all medical ethics went out of the window. I was convinced by the endocrinologist that I had a medical condition. I was led to believe that I had a male brain trapped inside of a female body and that this incongruence would ultimately lead to my death by suicide. I was told that it was a form of intersex. It was under the guise of these lies that I was referred to a woman for a letter of recommendation to begin testosterone injections. After suing her for fraud, I discovered that she was not even licensed as a doctor or a therapist. She was simply a woman who decided that my healthy female body was wrong. In the letter she wrote for me, she did not mention that I was unable to eat, often for days in a row, or that I was on a number of psychiatric medications. Instead, she affirmed that I was born in the wrong body and needed to be administered wrong sex hormones in order to stop my mental suffering and continue living. She asked my parents if they would rather have a dead daughter or a living son. I believed that I would die without transition. Medicaid was billed to cover my testosterone injections under endocrine disorder unspecified, even though nothing was wrong with my endocrine system. Now my healthy functioning has been taken away and I cannot regulate my own hormones. Testosterone did not improve my mental state but worsened it. I was put on more psychiatric medication and given muscle relaxers to deal with the side effects. Cutting episodes worsened. No one told me that testosterone was the cause of the cysts on my ovaries. I was told when I complained about pain that I was going through male puberty, which is something a teenage girl cannot do. My body was falling apart and my doctors gaslit me and told me that it was good. Testosterone mutilated my genitals before I could legally consent to sex as an adult. I was lied to about the effects it would have, and I suffer with atrophy and disfigurement and pain. I have never had sex as an adult with a normal, healthy vagina. I didn't understand what was being taken away from me when I gave consent. I was too young, and I was not being given accurate medical information. My consent was stolen. A year after starting the testosterone injections, I was led to believe by activists and my doctors that I needed to remove my healthy breasts. I was told that they were causing my continuing mental distress and that I would feel relief when my body was modified. No mental illness can actually be cured by cosmetic surgery. I suffered severe surgical complications as a result of giving birth. The papers I signed said that I may have trouble breastfeeding, concealing the reality that my chest is surgically sealed shut. My nipples were grafted and reattached in the wrong spot, and now they are just decorative. I was unable to breastfeed my baby the milk that came in. I had no idea that I had breast tissue left inside of me or that this was possible. It was the worst pain and heartbreak I have ever felt. I wanted to die. It is impossible to change sex, but I was led by my doctors to believe not only that I could, but that I needed to do so to live. No mental illness or mental suffering can be relieved by making cosmetic changes to the secondary sex characteristics, but this is the treatment that my doctors offered me and no alternative. I was never given any other option. My doctors never used real medical terminology. They tricked me using euphemisms like top surgery and with pseudoscience like the genderbread man. I genuinely believed that I needed drugs and surgery despite the fact that my body was healthy and I just hated myself. My doctors defrauded me. I am not alone. No human changes sex or is benefited by the purposeful disruption of their endocrine system or the removal of their healthy body parts.